Hello, and welcome to this video that's going to be talking about ProBuilder, which is going to be a 3D modeling tool that we're going to be able to use inside of Unity. So that's really exciting because it's going to eliminate that step where we have to transfer from a 3D modeling tool such as Blender or Maya. Now, ProBuilder is evolving rapidly. It was new a few years ago. Unity ended up buying it from someone, and now they've integrated it inside of Unity and they keep on expanding upon it, so just expect it to become more powerful as time progresses. It's a really nice way to model levels inside of Unity very quickly, and it has full-fledged capabilities such as UV editing right inside of Unity. So let's go ahead and get started by getting ProBuilder inside of our Unity project, and we're going to do that by going to the upper left-hand corner, selecting Window. From here, go ahead and open the Package Manager. You're going to want to search for Pro, just like that, and then ProBuilder will be the second from the top. Go ahead and then select the Install button here. I tested to make sure that it worked beforehand, but you'll have an install. It will run through the installation process, and when it's finished, you should see a change to up to date, and you'll know that ProBuilder is installed. Alright, now that ProBuilder is installed, we can open it up by selecting Tools, and from here we'll select ProBuilder and ProBuilder Window. This is going to open up a free-floating box, and this is going to have a variety of options for us to select. Some of them we can't select, some of them we can. And what we're going to do is we're going to dock this window. So I'm going to dock it actually over here on my right-hand side, and we'll make it a little bit smaller so it's a nice list. Now there are two ways to view this. You can either right-click in here and select Use Icon Mode, which some people do prefer, or you can go back to the original text mode. Personally, I like the text mode a little bit more, as when you get a little bit more technical, it's easier to think, okay, I need to UV edit this surface. Okay, I'll open the UV editor. If I'm looking at this, I'm like, okay, what's the UV editor? And as you start opening up menus and submenus in here, there's going to be more and more pictures, so it'll get a little bit confusing. But for the time being, I'm going to leave it as text mode, and let's go ahead and just start building. So in a few upcoming videos, we're going to be taking a look at how to build a custom first-person shooter type game, and we're going to use ProBuilder a bit to model part of the level. So we could use some primitive shapes provided by Unity. We could go to Game Object, 3D Object, Cube, and such. We're going to use the ProBuilder and see what they have available to us. So to get started here, let's take a look at the New Shape. So if we select the plus next to New Shape, now you'll notice that when we bring this up, it's going to open up a free-floating shape tool, and if you select the shape selector, there are going to be a variety of objects for you to choose in here. By default, we have the cube, but we also have some very interesting ones like stairs, cylinder, doors, etc. Let's get started by just selecting the cube, and we're going to make a plane that our character can walk on. So something along the lines of, let's keep it smaller for now. We'll just make it 15 by 15, and for the thickness, let's make that like 0.1. And now you'll notice our positions are a little bit off, so we're going to right-click on the transform and select Reset. Alright, it's just a good habit to get into. To make sure to center all of your objects, especially when you start manipulating transforms and vectors inside of code. It's easier when they're all centered up with each other. Now you did notice that did delete, and why did it do that? Well, let me go ahead and click back in here, and I'll explain why. So when it is blue like this, that means that it is not built. This is simply a preview of the object. If you want the object to actually exist in the Unity scene, you'll need to click the Build button here. When you do that, it will turn white. Alright, so now I can safely close the Shape tool. Now I'll click the Reset again, just to make sure that is centered there. Perfect. Alright, so this is the plane that our character is going to walk on. And now let's see what other shapes we have. So if we click the New Shape tool again, it's going to show us the previous shape that we made. Let's select from this list. Let's take a look at the stairs. So maybe we want to make like a bridge that the character can go up and across on. So what we'll start off by doing is I'm going to reset the position here just so I can see it. And we'll make a bridge right in the center of the map, because maybe we want to make a chasm that they have to cross over to get to a different part of the map. So that actually may be really cool to do. So we'll go ahead and bring that up just like that. Now with the stairs, there are a lot of exciting things you can do. You can increase the number of steps. So if we have like 100 steps, you can see that's quite a few there. Bit too many for what we need. We'll leave it at 10. And I'm just going to make the height and width a little bit more. Maybe the height down a little bit, and we'll increase the depth to maybe like 1.5. That looks perfect. We'll just bring it back a little bit so that it's on this edge. And then we'll go ahead and click the build one more time. So now we have some stairs in here that we built inside of Unity with the ProBuilder. And what we're going to actually do is let's duplicate this. So if we select on the cube that we previously built, press Control D. Control D will duplicate it. And let's just go ahead and make like a chasm here. So we're going to go ahead and Control D on the stairs one more time. And then we're just going to position them over here. And then let's rotate it on the Y by 180 degrees. And we'll just reposition that so that we can get it to line up with the appropriate one here. Now you can get it a little bit more precise than I'm going to get it, but I'm just going to get it so it's approximately across from each other. So that looks really good, and now we could go ahead and create some more exciting stuff. So we want to make a bridge going across. So if I were to make a bridge, I'd probably start with a cube. And a cube, we'd probably make the width of 5, maybe 3. Thickness 0.1, that's good. And a length, we'll start with 7. And let's see how far off that's going to be. So we'll start by resetting it just to get it over here. Get it about halfway. I can already tell that's going to be a bit too long and a bit too wide. So if we do a length of maybe 1.5, and let's do 4. Still a bit too long. I think 2 is going to be too short. Haha, pun. Let's finish it off at like 2.5. And I think that'll be good enough for what we want to do. So we'll just go ahead and bring it up so it's roughly approximately going across there. And maybe we'll bring the width down to that. And this is where you start to play more precisely with the values to get exactly what you're looking for. With respect to that. So it looks like I don't have them lined up quite precisely. Perfect. Alright, so now we have a bridge that our character is going to be able to walk across. And what are some other exciting things that we could do? So if we were to take a look at the other options, we could do like an arch. That would look pretty cool. We're going to go back here. We forgot to click build, so we'll select build. Now let's select arch. I think this is going to look pretty cool. If we bring this over here, and we'll bring this up just like that. I'm not sure where we're going with this, but it's starting to look cool. Maybe we'll just bring some arches here. And I'm actually like that, so I'm going to build that there. And then I think what we'll do is we'll click off that. We'll make one more arch. Go ahead and reset it just so I can bring it over here. I think this is going to look pretty cool. And we're going to bring this right there. Yep, that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and build. Alright, so now we have this chasm that we can go across. And we can take a look at the other shapes here that we have, pipes. So maybe as an obstacle, for example, we could have a long pipe. We might probably want to make it big enough for the character to be able to fit through. We could rotate it, of course, maybe on the X by 90 degrees if we wanted to increase it a little bit more, maybe to a height of 10. And let me reset this just to bring it over here. That's going to undo our rotation. That's okay. And maybe another way you could get across the map is you could have like a tube like this. So if you wanted to go across the map like that, you could go through either of these tunnels So we'll build this one, and then we'll leave that there. We'll go ahead and select it one more time so we can rotate it one more time on there. Let's actually reset it first. Rotate 90 on the X, and then we'll just position this one over here as well. And you can see I'm having a lot of fun with this. We're going to be able to create some really exciting levels with not much effort at all here. ProBuilder, just by the defaults, is going to make this pretty interesting. So now there's 3 ways to get across this chasm. Let me talk about some of the other features of ProBuilder, and I've gotten off on a tangent here. So let's not forget to click Build before we exit this menu. So taking a look at this now, there are some other things here that are quite interesting. The new poly shape is quite interesting because you can click like this, and you can create shapes just by doing that. So all of a sudden I have this triangle shape. Let me do that one more time just to show you what happened. So the polygon shape, or the new poly shape, is going to allow you to basically freehand draw various vertices, which you can then use to, as long as you have 3 or more points, create geometry from those points. So that is something really cool if you need something very specific. Now, the other one that I want to talk about as well is we have access to things like the UV editor that we're going to get to here in just a moment, and this is going to be very important for us when we want to be able to texture these things. We're actually going to start off with the material editor here in just a second. What I'd like you to do right now, though, is for the rest of this tutorial, go ahead and have fun with the new shape and just create some very basic shapes. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to use the editor tools to be able to manipulate the geometry of these objects. So stay tuned for that, and I hope you have a lot of fun.